The Mother series does a phenomenal job with creating a lot with very little. These games manage to build an entire world filled with charm, personality, and life, while at the same time, barely going in depth with it. Hell, the Chosen 4 and EarthBound aren't exactly what I'd like to call developed characters. Ness is a boy with a bat, Paul is a girl with a pan, Jeff's got a lot of bottle rockets, and Pooh is, well, just a badass that'll mess you up with his, kung fu skills. But even though these guys aren't the most interesting or complex characters in an RPG, they're still memorable and loved by many. Especially to this guy. To me, characters with this much free ground allows me to better connect with the game through the characters. It's like I'm the one taming dogs and all that, but back to the topic at hand. These games not only create interesting and immersive worlds, but they also create some of the most deep and thought-provoking characters I've ever experienced in a video game. And in today's video, I'm gonna take a close look at one of my favorite characters in the Mother and Smash Bros. Series. So grab some popcorn and get comfy, because now it's time to talk about Lucas. Lucas is your typical 10-year-old kid. He's got that yellow and red striped tee, those loose-looking jeans, and some fine-as-hell looking hair. Damn. Not even jelly shakes like that. But there's one thing that separates him from the rest, and that is, of course, his psychic abilities. Or PSI, as we've come to know them as. Our young hero hails from Tazmily Village, a small town located on the Nowhere Islands, in the middle of nowhere. He lives with his dad, Flint, his mother, Hinawa, man's best friend, Boney, and his older brother, Klaus. We'll get to him in a bit though. So, yeah, life seems good for this small little family. But, unfortunately, things don't stay that way for very long. One seemingly peaceful night suddenly turns into disaster. Flames erupt in the forest, and the people of the village are in a panic. Lucas's father, Flint, soon arrives to help, who saves some of the townsfolk before they become buried in a blanket of flames. Amidst the chaos, Hinawa has gone missing, with rumors saying they heard the roar of a drago and a blood-curdling scream. After multiple hours of searching to no avail, the town meets by a campfire. Here, we learn the shocking truth. Flint's wife was found murdered by a drago's claw, impaled through her heart. Devastated, Flint attacks in an outburst of anger, who is quickly taken down by Lighter. Keep in mind, just before this happened, Lucas and Klaus were both found unconscious in a river, and were drying up by the fire while this was all going down. Both were already in a state of shock, and now they had to witness their father, their ultimate role model, succumb to anger and rage. That would tear me apart, and I'm a lot older than Lucas. Already we have a child who, in a sense, lost both his parents that night. But unfortunately, this is only the beginning for our young hero. The very next day, Klaus visits his father, who spent the night in jail due to his violent outburst. The courageous boy boasts about how he'll become strong enough to end the drago that took his mother from him. He then leaves in haste, not wanting to waste another second. Klaus has a fire blazing in his soul, and if I were in his shoes, so would I. His drive is to avenge his mother. But it's that very same drive that costs him dearly in the end. Klaus ends up missing, and it's the last time we'll see him the way he used to be. This, along with Hinawa's death, is really devastating in my opinion. To think this small, happy little family was destroyed in only one sunrise, and it still staggers me how something like this could happen to such innocent people. Now, let's take a 3-year leap through time. Lucas is around 13 years old now, give or take, and he seems to have grown up quite a bit. He's become a lot more brave, just like his brother, and the loss of his mother doesn't seem to affect him on the outside anymore. Yet, the pain still lingers, deep down inside of him. Lucas seems to have taken up the silent protagonist approach that a lot of other heroes seem to possess. However, I feel like there's a hidden meaning behind that, but more into that later. It's at this point in the game where things just seem to run their course. Not much is mentioned or even implied about how Lucas is doing ever since that fateful day 3 years ago. Except for one very heartwarming moment. There's a point in the game where you find yourself in a field filled with sunflowers. As you journey through the Yellow Wonderland, you feel a foreign yet comforting feeling. It's your mother, Hinawa, right there before your very eyes. Without hesitation, Lucas jumps for her, but falls into the depths below. There are so many meanings behind this scene, so many different ways to interpret it, and so many different angles to look at it with. It's such a touching moment, and without a doubt, one of the highlights of the game. I could seriously dedicate an entire video to this part of the game alone, but for the sake of staying on track, I'll talk about it in greater detail another time. Now, up until this point, these events have been nothing but heart-wrenching and sorrowful, but none of them even comes close to this. During the final stretch of the game, we find our father, Flint, kneeling down on the ground. Upon speaking to him, we finally learn the truth of our lost brother, Klaus. Again, Lucas's silent protagonist side comes through, and he seems unfazed by the shocking truth of his long-lost brother. You know when I said there was a hidden meaning behind Lucas turning into a silent protagonist? Well, here it is. After Hinawa's death, Lucas really had no one to talk to. Klaus went missing soon after, and Flint was in no shape to help Lucas through this, due to him grieving as well. Lucas had no one but himself, which led to all the sadness and all the pain being suppressed deep down in the inner depths of his mind. That's why he had such a strong response when he saw his mother. He wants her back so bad that he would risk his own life just to be held in her arms one more time. Now, if you've ever withheld your emotions inside of you before, then you know it's only a matter of time before you have to let it all out. And well, that's exactly what happened in the end. During the climax of the game, you must face the masked man, your fallen brother, one last time. Except, you can't. Lucas refuses to attack his brother because, shortened to the point, he loves him. Even when Klaus is attacking him with all his resolve, Lucas won't fight back. It's that connection between them that really started to pull at my heartstrings. But it gets even more deep pretty damn quick. During the fight, the voice of Hinawa softly graces the chaos and tries to free her son from his robotic shackles. Even though it seems to be in vain, she doesn't give up. She's doing what a good mother would always do: never abandon her children, no matter what. Soon, it appears as if Klaus is coming back. And this is where I started to break down. As the attacks become weaker and weaker, we finally begin to understand the bond this family shares. The masked man is covering his ears in confusion. Hinawa is doing everything she can to bring Klaus back to her warm embrace. And Lucas is on the verge of tears. He doesn't know what to do anymore. Nothing makes sense, and it's all happening so fast. But he holds his ground anyway, and keeps on taking the pain, so that his brother won't have to hurt anymore. Then, all of a sudden, the face of a familiar boy emerges from the mask. The face of Klaus. But before anyone can react, Klaus fires a lightning bolt at Lucas, which reflects off his Franklin badge, and it's here when Klaus embraces his brother, and with his last breath, hopes to see him again someday. He then passes in Lucas's arms. Lucas doesn't want to see him go. He wants nothing more than to hold his brother and never let go. But he knows that there's still a job that needs to be done. And he knows that he must complete it, for the sake of everyone around him. When Hinawa died in the beginning, Lucas fell deep into a world filled with emptiness. But right here, it shows how much he's grown up since then. He's no longer that timid boy he used to be. Now, he's a hero, one that will do anything for the world he lives in, and for the ones that he loves. Lucas's story is quite the sad one to say the least, filled with pain, sadness, and loss, but most of all, maturity. Seeing him transform from a shy and timid boy to a strong and brave young man was quite a humbling adventure. It really goes to show that no matter how scared you may be, you can always find the strength to rise above your challenges and become something greater than you could ever imagine.
Now, before I begin this next segment, I just want to kind of leave a disclaimer. I'm not good at talking unscripted, you know. Talking to a camera like this, it's kind of difficult for me. I kind of ramble on a little bit too much and all that stuff. And the reason why I'm not doing this scripted is because I feel like it's more genuine this way, what I'm about to talk about. So, bear with me, here we go. I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for all the support you guys have given me these past few months. At the time of this recording, this channel is about to break 200 subscribers, and to me, that means the world. When I wake up every morning, the first thing I do is always check my YouTube channel. You know, I go to the comments section of pretty much all my videos, and there's always that one comment that someone leaves, and it's, you know, they talk about how much they enjoyed the video, or, you know, they spark discussion, or anything like that. That sort of thing is why I make these videos, because I love the feedback. I love interacting with you guys, talking with you in the comment section. It's so much fun just hearing from you. You know, it really drives me more than you guys could ever know. But anyways, enough of that. I guess thank you all so much. Again, you guys mean the world to me, and I'm hoping to see you all again pretty soon. So, with that being said, my name's BeeSquared. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and as always, keep on keeping.